All right, Harmony Science Academy, Algebra 2. We are here, okay, remember we talked about logarithms, CBA 7, our introduction, attributes, and transformations, okay? Now, we are getting into some algebra with logarithms. Okay, last week you took these notes, and really the focus is these three properties. The change of base, if you've practiced, you're fine. If not, get with me, and we've got to get you more comfortable with change of base. But today's video is focusing on properties of logarithms, these algebraic properties, the product property, quotient property, and power property. Okay? So this is, I think, pretty simple, but when you see it in real time, it can kind of throw you off. So practice is going to be important. Okay? All right. So here the product property, okay? We have log base b of m times n, okay? This is what you can call condensed, which equals the expanded version, log base b of m plus log base b of n, okay? Here's this property. Let's go to the quotient property. Now you have log base b of m divided by n, okay? It'll equal, right, this is condensed, expanded log base b of m minus log base b of n, which means if you see it this way, expanded, they might ask you to write it condensed, right? This is expanded, can you write it condensed? Or they might give it to you like this and say, hey, can you expand it and write it like that, okay? And the other property is the power property. So we have log base b of m raised to the n as the exponent, which equals, this is condensed, the expanded version, which is n times the log base b of m. Okay? So I'll pause that. You guys will copy that. But of course, practice is what we need. Okay? Now, in this case, they're basically telling you to condense it. Okay? So it's going to start expanded. And you're going to have to condense. Okay? So if you see it written like this on the CBA anywhere, you're going to see it, expect it to be expanded, and you're going to condense it. Expand the logarithm. That means that it is condensed, and you're going to have to expand. Okay? So again, condensed, expanded, condensed. All right? Just whatever they ask for is what you're going to do. Okay? So I'm going to give you a lot of examples. You're going to get a chance to practice on a lot of examples. So again, practice is critical to build your confidence. Okay? Condense each expression. Okay? So let's go ahead and understand that we're going to use product, quotient, or power properties. Okay? And sometimes two or more at the same time. So here, all right, we're going to use the quotient property, log base 5 of A over B. Okay? Now, just so you guys can write it the way it's supposed to be written, let me make it a little bigger. So it's log. Okay, so imagine on your paper you have a line like this. And let me see here. We're going to try and show you guys how to use basically correct notation, okay? You guys have been doing awesome, but some of you guys, pretty much all you guys kind of do a little something different than what should be on there, okay? So if I'm going to use the quotient property, I'm going to have my log on the line. The base should be underground here, okay? Then I have A over B, and I'm taking the log of all of that. Okay? All right. Let's look at this one here. This one's interesting. Okay? Again, we have to condense it. So this half is a fraction. Okay? So we can write it like this. Half log, here's the base, underground, of A. Okay? Notice that I have to kind of use an algebra property, not from this lesson, from the past. Okay? This divide by 2 is a half that can get multiplied up here in the front. Okay? So this is going to involve the power property. Okay? So the fact that it's out here, okay, look at the end. Okay, the end is out here. We're going to write it in condensed form like they asked. Right, condensed form. So I now have log base 3 of A to the half. Okay? And what you should have learned definitely in Algebra 1 is that this half exponent is a radical. Okay? So your final answer would look like this. Log base 3 of the square root of A. Okay? If you're struggling, with this, don't worry, copy the notes and we'll simply practice, maybe get you some one-on-one time, okay? All right. So there's those. Let's go and keep going. Now I have the natural log. I have to make sure that it is the same base, natural log, natural log. So here I simply have the natural log of 6 times 7. I'm condensing it. And I notice I can multiply these numbers, so I have the natural log of 42. Okay? All right, let's jump to this one here. I have log base 8 and a log base 8. That's important. They have to match. Okay? So I have, and they're not going to trick you and give you different bases for the CBA 8. So don't worry, but you need to know that. Okay? So I have log base 8 u divided by v using the quotient property. Okay? Let's go ahead and keep going. All right. So here, once again, we're going to use that power property. This should be log base 6 of A to the 4th. Okay. On the other one, I was able to do something different. But here, the 4 is not a fraction, not a simple fraction. So we're going to leave it intact. Okay, there's nothing else I can do. Let's jump to this one. I have log base 5, a log base 5. That means I can condense them. I have log base 5. This is A times B. And we're done. Okay. In this case, I can't go any further, so we leave it alone. If you can, right, like we did on this one, you continue simplifying, okay, or condense as far as you can go. All right, now let's go ahead and look at expanding each logarithm. Okay. Here I'm giving you guys a tip. Make sure to check your properties of logarithms. Okay. Notice that they're condensed, so I'm going to have to expand it. So in this case, I'll have x being multiplied, so I'm going to use let's take a look, the product property. Okay. Sorry, it's being given to me condensed, so I'm going to expand it just like that. Okay. All right. So I've got me a log. Let's see here. Once again, I really want you guys to start writing these logarithms the way they're supposed to, so I'll introduce some notebook paper lines. Hopefully we can start getting them looking a lot better, okay? Alright, so expanded, I've got log base 7 of x plus log base 7 of y. Done. Okay. Alright, in this case, again, it can kind of play tricks on some of you guys' eyes, so take a look at the properties. So we have a division, right? A fraction is division. So I'm going to use the quotient property. So I have log base 8 of 3. This guy should go first. Minus log base 8 of 7. Right? We're pretty much done there. Let's keep going. Alright. Here we have the product property apparently being multiplied. Again, especially if you're struggling, you want these examples in your notebooks. Alright. And let me check this one we did up here. Okay. Notice how similar they are. Okay. Alright. Once again, we have the product property here. U plus. And I forgot the. Okay, the base is very important. You've got to have matching bases, otherwise this doesn't work, okay? And I forgot the U there. Hello. Alright, now this is definitely the power property. So we're going to go ahead and get that exponent up here in the front. You definitely want to write that it's multiplication, okay, for your understanding and for your communication on a test. Okay, and we have A. Is there anything else I can do to expand it further? No, but that's what you're looking for, always fully expanded. Okay, this looks kind of tricky, but this is awesome. It's going to give us a chance to look at a radical again in reverse order. So this, if you're not too familiar, we can have that conversation, but this is an exponent, okay, of simple fraction. So this would be log base 4 of x to the 1/3. Okay, or we can leave it in the parentheses, it's fine. Let me do that. Okay, so now we're being asked to expand this. So this is going to allow us to take this and put it up here in the front. So we have 1/3 times log base 4 times x. Okay. And let's jump to 27. We have log base 4 of 8 to the 6. The power property is going to allow us to take that exponent up to the front. 6 times log base 4 times A. Alright, and lastly, let's do this last one. Cool, we have another radical. So we're going to go log base 4. This is 3 to the 1/3 exponent. Whoops. The power property is going to allow us to bring that exponent up to the front, multiply log base 4 times 3. All right, hopefully that was enough, and we were going to get more practice in class. Appreciate your time, guys.